Welcome to Project Insight's Power Tutorial Series. Today we're talking about Strategic Portfolio Management, or SPM, and why it matters to today's PMO leaders. SPM tools are different from project management or work management software. SPM software helps companies connect their project work to overall business strategy. That insight is critical for PMO teams that report on project and portfolios to help executives make decisions about their business. While SPM has its roots dating back more than 50 years, it's only now that it's becoming prominent in the software category. At Project Insight, we're excited that review sites like Gartner are finally seeing how SPM software systems are levels above basic work management. We've been an SPM tool for more than 20 years, and it's finally our category to shine. Today, we're going to show you how SPM can help PMO leaders get a seat at the executive strategy table. But before we do, a few housekeeping notes. Everyone will be on mute. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat as we go. We're tight on time. We've got 15 minutes, and I'm burning through it, Steve, so we got to get
Let's
going
go.
here pretty quick.
I know
So
there's lots of ground to cover with this particular topic.
there is, and I'm Mathew Sparks, and I'm joined by Steve West, our co-founder and CEO. We're ready to go. So we're looking right here at what we've labeled it's a dashboard within Project Insight. It's my strategic portfolio management dashboard, right? In this particular workspace, what we've done is roll all of our big initiatives that we have into our portfolios, right? That's a native feature of Project Insight. We have a hierarchy predefined. So in that way, I can say, this is the work that I'm doing toward our AI initiatives that we have. And here are the different components to each of those, the different programs, and then the projects that then may serve those up, right? Now, each of these different pieces may have their own kind of guiding documentation or charter on it, right? My projects may have a charter. My program may have this initiative as to what we're trying to do in these groups of projects, as I can do the same thing within my portfolio and keep track of all of that right here within Project Insight, right? On this particular level, Steve and I just had an executive conversation, and we've got a new AI project that we actually want to bring on. So we're going to go through our dashboard and talk that through and see if we can. So right away, I can see what work we are actively doing. This is how many projects and what sort of risks we may have, the general health. So I can see right away my operations portfolio has got something I want to watch because it's the only one with any red, and I've got two. I can directly see to the right of that how much money I'm spending on each of these initiatives, right? So what am I spending on product work compared to AI initiatives, right? Right here, it's very easy to see, even though I'm doing more AI work, I'm spending a significant amount less. This report, just like any report within Project Insight, even being here within a dashboard, as we were expanding it, I can right click to get in any additional columns that I might want to. So if things are important for us to see, what my CPI numbers are on my portfolio or program or lower, I can get those specific pieces here really readily, even on a dashboard view. Continuing down, Steve and I were talking about how much work am I spending on each of these initiatives, right, Steve? Like how many hours do we have per portfolio? And I can show him right here. It's really easy to say, Steve, this is what we've done for our client work. This is obviously what keeps our business going day in and day out. These other initiatives are ways in which we want to, provide a better product, and here's the strategy of how we're doing that and the effort it's going to take for each of those endeavors.
Yeah, now it's as simple as making sure that, using the portfolio and program add-on, putting your projects in the correct portfolio and program, and then you're able to build these reports that Matt is showing. These are all individual reports that he's compiling together into this dashboard.
What's really nice, though, to Steve's point, is that's all I had to do to set this up,
Yeah.
right? I set my portfolio, I put my programs, and then I put my projects in each of those. I let my project managers or teams execute on those as they would normally. We, as the executives, can then just have this easy roll up in the same tool that the actual project management or work management piece is happening out of, right?
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
no
our
translation needed. Yeah.
Our goal is to just at least make it easier for you to get the output from just running your projects, because everybody's running your projects and doing this anyway, whether you're using a tool or not. You're probably putting in Excel or desktop, or maybe it's multiple tools. By just adding your projects to the correct program and portfolio, our system will automatically calculate the rolled up values for all of that for you.
100%. And if we keep it up to date, there's no grooming process to get
Right.
executive leadership on something. They can see what's happening right now. So in that way, Steve and I want to know, hey, can we do this project that we have in planning right now? What will it take with the current active work that we're doing? Understanding that each of these pieces, again, supports our broader initiatives that we're working on within the organization. We can then come in here and decide how we want to do that. Now, some things that might be easy to move on a cross-project Gantt, you can, right? If I slide this over, I can actively change the start date on this particular project if I want. So that way I have a little bit of leeway for that AI initiative that we're doing. So that's one way in which this becomes more than just a reporting tool, in that I can execute right out of it. We're going to spend a little bit of time doing some of that here in my portfolio allocation report that we've got grouped by portfolios in just a moment. But the real nice piece about any dashboard in Project Insight, here we're looking at my team's capacity over the next few weeks. If I ever want to change a report with the appropriate permissions, it's just as simple as saying it's this report that I want to see here, save and share with the people that have access,
Yeah.
right?
Now, right now on that chart there, you're seeing each of your teams at the bottom, the
Oh,
chart
yep.
there. Yeah,
Sorry. Yep.
that's the
Yep.
hours, the capacity, your combined capacity by team. So
Right.
you can see how busy you are. You can see that blue line, you're over your line,
That's right.
meaning that, so that'll tell you that, hey, we're actually not going to get all that done. So that's the
Oh,
idea, is to know ahead of time.
or if I'm going to, Steve, because I have to, I don't have choices, but I'm going to
Well,
bring
you
in
have to add some
consultants.
people.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly, right. I know where I need to bring people in really readily, and then I know when I can take on more work as far as that's concerned.
Right, and
So
those numbers come from either bottom up, like from your WBS, or if you don't have time to do that, you can do a top down allocation where you just rough out the numbers, and that that report just comes right out of the box. So that can really help you understand if you're going to make those initiatives or not.
that's right. And all of these pieces can be imported in bulk as well. So you can do all of this in one shot at the
Hmm.
same point, right? This is the financial kind of component of that, where I'm saying, again, how much work I'm spending instead of per team or individual, it's per portfolio. And then give me the dollar amount to that. If I
Hmm.
ever want to look or explore any of these reports in greater detail, I can click right here, which will actually open it in a new tab. And through the power of cooking, we have one here, right, where I've got it ready to go. Again, I can explore in and see the details of this information. We can change the data that we're looking at, or even the ranges or the time scale. Currently, we're looking at quarterly, but maybe Steve wants to view it monthly. It's just as simple as coming in and changing it in these presentation pieces. The other component that's really wonderful here is when I'm having these executive conversations like this one where Steve says, "Hey, I want to bring on that new project. What's that going to look like for us?" Right? I can come into Project Insight simulation planning and show him and say, "Okay, you want to bring this project in? Great. Let's go ahead and show what that's going to do from a change perspective of effort and cost, because that's what I'm looking and reporting on." And then I can say, Steve, if we bring that project on, it's going to increase our other pieces by $204,000 through the end of next year, right? Are you
Yeah,
sure you
and
want to do that? Mm-hmm.
and not only can you do a what if on just adding a project, you can actually have what ifs on changing the products or having as many projects as you want
Well, and
added,
that's what
more than one.
exactly what we're about to do, right? So in order to be able to do this, I'm going to have to pause one of my other projects. So I'm going to pause this guy as of October 1st, and I'm going to now rerun this report. Now, the thing about pausing it is I'm still going to incur extra costs through pausing that. I'm just going to have the bandwidth, thinking back here, to be able to handle it more readily, right? So I can see that by pausing that, I'm going to incur an additional $350,000 because of the what if scenario my project management team provided to the PMO leaders who now are reviewing it with us, the executive team, right? So the wonderful piece about both this simulation planning or the allocation planning around resourcing, this simulation what if piece, is that I, as the PMO leader, am at the table with the executive. I don't need to corral people or say, can we, what can you do? I can bring up a report really quickly and say, hey, Steve, this is what we've got going on. What do you want to do with this information, right? If
Yeah.
Steve ever wants to drill into any of the portfolios and have access to what's happening there, they can really readily and see what's happening on this particular portfolio or within a part of that in a program or by clicking into any of these specific projects. You know, the win of Project Insight is that the same work that we're executing the task management on, the resource allocation on, and the budgeting on, or that we can then, you know, work its way back up to my strategic dashboards that I need. So, Steve, any other points to that?
No, I think you're making a great point. Those what if scenarios as well, that not only can you say, I want to shift the project away or add a project, take away a project, you can
Mm-hmm.
actually make schedule changes within your project plan to do a what if scenario. So that's really helpful for really big projects if you're conducting something really long or a lot of hours, a lot of resources that can really come into handy.
Yeah, that's actually what this particular one was, right? This project here is a long-standing project. If we go back to my strategic portfolio, right, I can look at it here, Titan facility. You can see that this is a very long project. And what we've done is just extend it out through a scenario that would bump that out so that way
Yeah.
we can see it here, right? So
Hmm.
that's the nice piece. But again, whether I want to interact with this here, whether I want to do it on the Gantt chart within my dashboard, or whether we're just viewing these pieces, it is not only the work management piece, it's my project management piece, but it also functions as my strategic portfolio management tool as well. So
Do you
it,
want to show them how to get started with using the programs and portfolios?
yeah, easy. All we need to do to get that set up is first ensure that the add-on is enabled within your workspace. So to do that, you go into your add-ons. If it is not yet installed, you click on Get More Add-ons. If it is already, then you're good to go. You will have the ability to see the portfolios and the programs that you have. You can click onto any of those to add additional options that you have. And this is where you can also provide the guiding documentation or driving principles of what this is. Sometimes these are actual lists that you select, right? This portfolio is serving business initiatives by X, Y, and
Yeah.
Z as far as that's concerned, right? And
Yeah, and
then
like anything,
putting the
those
programs
fields
in.
can be custom because many people have their own inputs that they need for their programs or their portfolios and programs or
That's right.
projects.
That's right. In fact, our AI ones here, Steve, we have a completely separate set of questionnaire on it because it's our AI initiatives, right? Compared to what we're doing with our other pieces. So if you have questions on how to put this to work for you, if you are a customer of Project Insight, please reach out to your assigned success manager. If you are not yet using our tool, please reach out to sales@projectinsight.com. We'd love to work with you and align your organization's strategic initiatives into an easy to use platform. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.